All right, let's do a quick check, Maria. We'll see that we're live on all of our channels. I think we're live on Facebook,
Live on YouTube.
live on YouTube. So we're getting good at this. You think that only
took
doing
6 this week.
Yeah. By our sixth one, we got it down, everybody.
Gotta finish strong.
Well, excellent. Well, we're going to give everybody a minute here to join. As you're joining, go ahead and check in. We've got a big guest star today. This man is extremely hard to reach, hard to get a hold of because he is that busy.
Yes.
And we
For good
were
reason.
very fortunate. Oh yeah, very
good reason.
very good reason. There's a good reason, and you're going to find out why as we talk to him in the next few minutes. So, it's been an exciting month. We were talking about the month of Mounts, how the month of Mounts is really coming together. We're getting lots of engagement, lots of participation.
Loads of content out. Lots of videos out this month.
Yeah, congratulations, Maria. You can see the
you.
gallery of mounts has all turned out very well. It's been an exciting time.
It has. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you now know the mounts really well. You know all the manufacturers.
Now I'm a POE expert and a mount expert.
I know.
At this point.
Be careful. You're going to start moonlighting and going out and mounting these up for everybody.
I don't think so. It took a lot of our muscle. I was a little sore.
That's fantastic. I'm going to reset the teleprompter real quick. Sorry about that, everybody. We want to make sure this turns out well. Let's get started. All right, everybody. Welcome to Converge POE's Month of Mount and your chance to meet the makers. This live maker interview is... And the teleprompter stopped working.
No.
Oh, no.
We reset it.
Reset it. Sorry, everybody. This is the joys of doing live television.
That's what keeps them coming back.
The live maker interview this afternoon is with the team at Heckler. Their solutions are like the industry standard for mounting solutions in North America. Everybody we know has them. And so you will find these products everywhere. I see Heckler products almost every time I go into any kind of office building in North America. So
even ours.
Yes, even in ours. Yes, definitely.
So today we have the myth, the man, the legend, Dean Heckler, live on our show to answer your question.
And let's get the show started.
I love the tune at the end of that video.
I do.
It's groovy.
It's very cool. Well, let's get Dean on right away. Here we are. Welcome to the show, Dean. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So real quick, to give
Great
everybody...
graphics package, by the way.
Thank you. Work hard on that. To give everybody context, Dean, can you do a quick introduction, who you are and what Heckler Design does?
I'm Dean Heckler. I'm the president of Heckler Design. We started in 2012, somewhere around there, doing a computer desk. We made a computer desk, and when the iPad came out, we thought, well, this is something that commercial businesses are going to get a lot of use out of, even though it was originally marketed as kind of a consumer device. So we worked with I started designing a lot of accessories, commercial accessories for the iPad early on. And we were in the right place at the right time with point of sale for small business moving to iPads. And we made a lot of popular products for that market. We are based in Phoenix, Arizona. All of our manufacturing, assembly, marketing, design, everything is done in Phoenix. So we're able to keep up with a very fast moving, changing tablet market and changing world. So, and we're known for our aesthetics and design. We try to do things very minimally and very with great aesthetics.
That's fantastic. And just to make sure everybody knows, Heckler doesn't just do mounts. It's one of the key markets they do, but they do all kinds of furniture. So credenzas, carts, any kind of office furniture. I'm a big fan. I keep, whenever Dean comes out with something new, I'm usually the first one in line to buy something. And I'm starting to get quite a collection of very cool Heckler products.
We have, a whole kind of office corner of the office filled up with it.
So. Yes.
We get them regularly.
Well, Dean, to give you context, Maria and I have spent the last month trolling or requesting surveys and comments from all of our different audience members and people who are joining, asking what they want to know. And they were really great. They gave us a lot of good input. And we've consolidated it all into a couple of important questions. I'm going to ask you a few questions today, and then I'm also we'll do that live, and then we'll also be asking you some questions that will be part of after we finish the live stream, we'll ask you some more questions that we're going to get answers for next week at the Zoom webinar that we're going to do, exclusive, where you're going to get the best content from all the top manufacturer mounts worldwide. We're going to get their best answers, and you as the audience are going to be able to see that. So don't forget to register. Join us next week as we present the top questions. But now we're going to hit some important questions customers were really interested in.
Yes.
The first one is, people had mentioned a couple of times the idea that you're buying an iPad, you're buying an investment. How does Heckler handle security? Of the iPad, by the way, not security like bigger picture. iPad security.
And particularly when a new iPad comes out and it's the latest and greatest iPad, and we've created a mount for the 12.9, fourth gen, and you can't even get your hands on it. We make a lot of products for what we call tamper resistant, and that they assemble with tamper resistant screws. Usually security Torx. We've done custom things with special screws in them. What we find is that it's generally countertop scenarios, point of service, point of sale scenarios that have any theft rate at all. So when you're talking about countertop stands, you'll find a series of our stands. We call them prime stands that ship with security Torx screws and countersunk screws, so you can't take pliers to the screws and undo it. And so most of our security features are in our strongest security features are in our countertop product line. For wall mounting, what we find is, most of the wall mounting market is either residential and commercial. And so in both those settings, when I say commercial, it's office settings. So in an office setting, there's less chance of theft. So what we do with our wall mount products and our products meant to mount outside of meeting rooms is generally it's not security screws or tamper resistant screws in those settings. They're generally in hard to reach places or in hidden locations, and you need at least a regular Torx screw or a regular hex key in order to remove the iPad in that setting. We have every single way, and we get feedback every single way. And the general feedback is the inconvenience of losing the key in a less theft-prone environment is more of a bad thing. Is worse than the actual theft rate of an iPad. But just keep in mind, is the environment, does it require theft resistance in general? And a lot of corporate settings, the answer is no.
Okay, that's great feedback.
Yeah,
I think that's important to get that scope and that understanding. Mm-hmm. What is and when you're talking security, what is the bigger problem? Indeed's pointing it out. The bigger problem is, if you've got a screw, it's easy to replace a screw.
Right, whereas a specific key that only works for that specific mount, that specific manufacturer.
That could be difficult to deal with. Mm-hmm. Well, very cool. Well, Dean, another question that people were asking about is mounting their tablets and enclosure in difficult to reach places. Some people were asking about glass. Any tips on glass mounting or mounting in difficult locations?
For glass, the short answer is with our product line is generally don't do it. Don't try to adhere an iPad in a metal enclosure of any kind. Ours are made of steel. Some other folks are made of aluminum. Trying to adhere that to glass when they're not designed to mount to glass is probably not worth it. We have had success using VHB adhesives, 3M VHB, some success using silicone adhesives when necessary. The issue is for me, is aesthetics. Is you probably have a glass conference room because you want that conference room to look good. And then you're trying to mount an iPad or, like a meeting room scheduler outside of that room. And in doing so, without the presence of a mullion, you're ruining the aesthetics. Because even if you do figure out a good way, a good secure way of making sure that iPad doesn't drop to the ground and mounting it to the glass, you still have the CAT cable bringing you POE power, and you need to figure out how to do that cleanly. One thing we've recommended in the past and we've done in our own office is we've installed essentially dummy mullions. We've installed aluminum extrusions down where the mullion would typically go on a glass walled conference room that uses mullions by the door. And then we would mount side mount the enclosure, the room scheduler mount to that. And that, our guests never knew that was a dummy mullion, but now you have something structural to mount the iPad mount to, and you have a nice place to hide the CAT cable as it travels up to the ceiling.
It's a good point to note about the style too, because they may think that they want the iPad mounted to the glass, but then they see it and it might be too late with the adhesive. So to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as we get some clients that have exotic surfaces, it's not just drywall. They have solid oak walls and they want to mount maybe like a wayfinder to a beautiful wall, and they choose our mounts because some of our wall mount products are meant to put very minimal damage in the wall. And so it's very small holes in that material to bring your CAT cable through and to fix the mount to the wall.
I gotta say, Dean, to endorse that, when I was mounting these guys, I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm doing it like the diameter. I was drilling holes like the diameter of the cable, and so with a lot of them, the very minimal holes. And I think you're absolutely right.
And really easy to put up. It went up very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the wall mount with power series, and that was specifically designed for companies who want to do a large rollout of iPads on their walls. They might be leasing the office space, so they don't want to take a drill and drill a big chunk out of the wall. They don't want to mount gang boxes, hire an electrician and mount gang boxes behind the enclosure. How do we make a thin profile, good-looking iPad mount that you just very quickly fasten to the drywall with minimal drywall damage, and then still be able to get that CAT cable to the through the wall? And the secret sauce is POE Texas technology, which is we have that 24-volt splitter built into the enclosure inside the enclosure forward of the wall. Whereas a lot of solutions is, hey, dump your electronics, dump your splitter into the wall, and cut a big hole in the wall. So, that's been a nice convenience to people to do large deployments with simple tools, with existing staff, no electricians, so we do think through those things. And when you move out of that office, you take the screws out of the wall, you have minimal wall damage, and the landlord's not going to come after you.
Actually, you're bringing up the next question, Dean, and maybe so we'll roll these together. What tips do you have on how to make a digital signage or a conference room scheduler or some other type of project more cost effective for the total install cost. And I think you're pointing out the labor cost to install, the labor cost to remediate after, those are really big factors. And sometimes on a larger rollout, that could even add up to more than the cost of the parts themselves.
Definitely.
Yeah, it can be the biggest factor. What we hear a lot from across our entire product line of everything we do is, rapid deployment, fast deployment, and minimal coordination of parties. If you are a third party professional coming in to install this stuff, do you need to work with engineers and electricians and things and well ahead of time? That all costs big bucks. And then, the damage left afterwards. The other things you can do, in choosing if you're going to install a tablet based, or in more to the point, an iPad based solution, or go with a more purpose-built solution, is the iPad has use cases before you actually mount them to the wall, and they have use cases after you're done using them on the wall. So you can get them lightly, you can get them refurbished, lightly used, and save money on your initial purchase of the iPads. You can use them for a couple years on the wall. And then when you want to upgrade to the next round of iPads or change up your office space, you have a secondary market to sell those iPads very quickly. And so really, if you eliminate the engineering time and the electrician time to initially install the mounts, and you have an aftermarket for the device itself, it really comes down to the cost of the mount, which we're very conscious about. We don't want to make a $600 mount for a $300 iPad. We consciously try to solve the problem at a fraction of the price of the device, because we know it's our mount that is probably the thing that will need to get replaced upon upgrading. So try to be economic with your mount choice. Try to be economic with your tablet purchase, and if you use iPads rather than purpose-built devices for room scheduling or visitor registration, let's say, you will be able to sell those off after you're done with them. And then lastly is the injector source. You don't have to buy the world's most advanced Cisco POE injector to power these things. You can. We always refer people to POE Texas multi-port injectors, and in this case, they're 24 volt. Your 24 volt multi-port injectors. They are economical, so you can power a lot of iPads with very little equipment that way.
I love that. Thank you, Dean. The check's in the mail.
Thank you.
Well, Dean, you have been awesome. Guys, I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're writing this down. You're hearing this from an expert who's been doing this for so many years. He's seen ins, the outs, the wins, the losses. And so take this information to heart. So we're going to wrap up. I'm going to take Dean over to another conversation where I'm going to ask him some more very good information for next week's live stream. So, Dean, thank you for your time today. We very much appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. I've enjoyed it.
All right. So, great questions. Thank you for all of our audience out there who have made the month of mounts what it has been for the last month. We've really loved the engagement, the participation,
Absolutely.
working with everybody.
Yes, and let us know, what did y'all think? Would you like to see more from Dean Heckler or the Heckler design team? Do you want to see any specific projects that Tyler and I can work on? Let us know. Connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Amazon. We're on all the socials pretty much. We're everywhere. So send us a message, ping us, let us know. You are the ones we do these videos for, so your feedback is very important. And finally, if you did enjoy this show or found it useful, make sure to give it a like and let Tyler and I know that you did enjoy it. Use me. And share it with your colleagues or partners. Sharing this type of content does really build your credibility as an expert in your field. And as Tyler mentioned at the beginning of the show, next Wednesday is our Zoom webinar to get all your questions answered, the tough ones all in one place. So make sure you register. That's next Wednesday. The link is in the comments for you guys to add it to your calendar so you don't miss it.
And we'll see you all next week.
Yes. Thank you, guys.